Nigeria just made a move that's sending shockwaves through the global corridors of power. In January 2025, Africa's largest economy was formally brought in as a partner country to the BRICS bloc. Now, this isn't just some routine diplomatic announcement, it's a calculated signal that Nigeria is picking a side in a new kind of world war, and economic one. For decades, the world has played by a set of rules, largely written by the West. But now, BRICS, a club of powerful emerging economies, is offering a different way forward. By taking this step, Nigeria is placing a huge bet. In this video, we're breaking down the incredible opportunities this opens up, the dangerous tightrope Nigeria now has to walk, and what this gamble means for the future of global power itself. So, what does being a partner country actually mean?
Views the major risks and challenges to global development and strive.
This new category was created at the BRICS summit in Kazan, Russia, back in October 2024, as a way to grow the bloc without giving away full membership right away. As a partner, Nigeria can now sit in on high-level summits, co-sign declarations, and generally align with the BRICS agenda. But it doesn't get the same voting rights as full members like Brazil, Russia, India, China, Egypt, or the UAE. Think of it as an engagement, not a marriage. It's a formal step that lets Nigeria test the waters of a new alliance, gaining influence without taking on all the geopolitical baggage that full membership brings. The Nigerian government is calling it a practical way to boost development, but in a world that's splitting into factions, this move is anything but simple. It's a deliberate pivot, and the consequences are going to ripple across the globe. To really get why Nigeria is making this gamble, you have to look at the problem it's trying to solve. For over 60 years, Nigeria has operated inside a global system run by Western institutions like the World Bank and the IMF. This system promised a clear path to prosperity. But for Nigeria and many other nations, that promise has felt hollow, often coming with strings attached that choked their economic freedom. Even as Africa's largest economy and a major oil producer, Nigeria has been stuck fighting the same battles: runaway inflation, high unemployment, and a desperate need for new infrastructure, from power grids to railways. Many feel the global financial system has been too slow and too rigid, designed to keep the old powers in charge. The appeal of BRICS is that it positions itself as the answer. It's a bloc built on the idea of cooperation between developing nations and shaking up the world order. The BRICS nations have even started their own bank, the New Development Bank, NDB, to fund big projects without the political hoops you have to jump through with Western lenders. On top of that, the bloc is seriously exploring trading in local currencies, which is a direct shot at the US dollar's dominance. For a country like Nigeria, whose economy gets tossed around by swings in the dollar, the idea of an alternative is powerful. This isn't just about making new friends. It's about a deep dissatisfaction with the old rules and the search for a system that gives Nigeria more control over its own destiny. This brings us to the heart of Nigeria's decision: the massive gamble. On one side, a treasure chest of economic opportunities. On the other, a minefield of geopolitical risks. This is the high-stakes bet that will define Nigeria's future for years to come. First, let's talk about the prize. The economic upside is immense. By teaming up with BRICS, Nigeria gets a VIP pass to some of the world's biggest and fastest growing markets: China, India, Brazil, and the wealthy Gulf states. This could be a massive engine for Nigerian exports, not just oil, but also agriculture and manufacturing. The government hopes this partnership will attract the foreign investment needed to create jobs and finally diversify the economy. And then there's the money. Access to the New Development Bank could be a game changer for Nigeria's crumbling infrastructure. Imagine funding for new power plants and modern ports without the usual lectures from traditional lenders. Plus, as a major OPEC member, Nigeria's voice gets louder inside a bloc that includes energy heavyweights like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Iran. And finally, there's the push to de-dollarize. The idea of trading with partners like China in local currencies could shield Nigeria from the dollar's volatility and lower costs. But now, for the other side of the coin, the risks. This pivot toward BRICS is a direct challenge to the Western-led order Nigeria has been a part of for its entire history. The United States, in particular, is not thrilled about the rise of BRICS or its de-dollarization talk. While there have been no explicit threats, there are real concerns that a move seen as undermining the dollar could invite economic friction. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has even voiced worries that this could risk Nigeria's access to key export markets in the West. This creates a dangerous balancing act. Nigeria depends on its longtime Western partners, the US, UK, and EU, for security aid, counterterrorism support, and access to capital. Cozying up to a bloc that includes Russia and China could seriously strain those relationships. Some analysts warn that Nigeria simply can't afford to alienate its traditional allies. Besides, BRICS itself isn't one happy family. It's a group of nations with their own competing interests. Just look at the rivalry between India and China. Nigeria will have to navigate these complex dynamics, where siding with one member could anger another. The gamble is whether the potential payday from the East is worth risking the stable, if flawed, relationships with the West. So, here's the multi-billion-dollar question. Can Nigeria have it both ways? Can it get the economic perks from BRICS without a nasty breakup with the West? The answer might be hiding in Nigeria's own playbook. Since independence, Nigeria has prided itself on a strategy of non-alignment. During the Cold War, it refused to be a pawn for either the United States or the Soviet Union, choosing instead to engage with everyone to serve its own interests. You could see this BRICS partnership as a 21st century version of that same strategy. The Nigerian government isn't necessarily leaving the Western table, it's just adding more chairs to its own. It has a long history of playing in multiple sandboxes at once: the UN, the African Union, the Commonwealth, OPEC. This is just another platform for influence, not a sworn oath of loyalty. Nigeria's own statement on joining hammered home its commitment to our strategic autonomy, basically saying, we'll make decisions based on what's best for us. The real test will be in the follow-through. To pull this off, Nigeria has to play its cards perfectly. It needs to use its BRICS status to score real commercial wins, trade deals, infrastructure funds, and tech agreements that people can actually see and feel. At the same time, it has to work overtime to reassure Washington and Brussels that its BRICS partnership is about business, not betrayal. It's a delicate diplomatic dance, but if any nation has the experience to try it, it's Nigeria. Nigeria is at a historic crossroads. This decision to partner with BRICS is its biggest geopolitical bet in a generation. It's a bold play to rewrite its economic story by aligning with a rising global order, but it risks tearing up decades of relationships with the West. The road ahead is uncertain, and the stakes couldn't be higher for over 200 million Nigerians. The world is watching. Will this be the move that finally unleashes Nigeria's incredible potential, or a strategic blunder with devastating consequences? What do you think? Is Nigeria making a genius move, or is it playing with fire? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want to keep up with the shifting sands of global power, make sure you subscribe for more analysis on the stories changing our world.